I'm Monty Salzman. Welcome to Local is Better. Hey, today I'm so excited to be here with Richard Kaiser. Richard is the founder and president of Lion Panda. And Lion Panda is this amazing local company, which you know I love. And I thought I'd do an interview today with a young entrepreneur, and we can get his story and I think tie in maybe some of the things we've talked about in prior videos. Richard, great to see you.
Great to see you.
So you had this idea to go out and start Lion Panda. First of all, tell us what Lion Panda is and how you came up with the idea.
So we started Lion Panda. The idea was essentially, how do you take the existing model of a marketing and advertising agency, infuse more technology into it, and create a better overall experience for customers and for the people who are interacting within the business.
Okay. So, one of the things I've talked a lot about in success in business is the golden rule, this idea of serving people and treating people the way you want to be treated. Now, I know you don't just want to run a traditional marketing and advertising firm. You actually have a purpose to serve. Tell us about that. And I think it's actually built into your tagline and your slogan.
Right. So the tagline is strategy before design.
Okay. What do you mean by that? What is that? And how does that's very important to you, I know.
Yes.
Tell us why you came up with that and what it means to you.
I think that all too often there's, in this industry especially, there's, you talk to a client about what their needs are and then you just run off and try and go create deliverables, where if you kind of take a step back and you actually get more infused into their business and really understand what their core values are and where they're trying to go as a company, you can become much more effective at what it is that you're producing for them. Understanding, do you need to kind of step back to that 30,000 foot perspective and have a holistic view, or are there broken windows that need fixed from day one, and where ultimately they're trying to get from a 5 to 10 year plan?
Okay. So one of the things I talked about earlier was really, what do people want to buy? Mm-hmm. And I've had this framework that since I was very, very young, that really people only buy two things, and really to really succeed in business over the long haul, you need to do both these things. And those were solutions to problems. You need to solve problems for people and create good feelings or emotions. What I hear just so at the foundation of what you do are both those things. And what I mean by that, so let's take solutions to problems. Most of your business is all business to business, right?
Yes.
You don't sell anything to the retail market.
No, nothing direct.
So, if you think about what is the ultimate contribution you can make to your clients in a business-to-business relationship, it really is to help them make more money, right? To be more prosperous in their business. And that, it seems like you come at it with that, that's just who you are. Hey, I want to make that business more successful rather than, hey, I want to sell you stuff and put money in my pocket.
Absolutely, and I think sometimes it's not only just looking at like, okay, how are we going to make you more money, but it's also looking at their processes and trying to figure out, are there technologies that we can implement into your process to make this more streamlined? Where I think a lot of marketing agencies are focused on this idea of, well, we're just going to get your message out there and then you're going to make more money. We get more ingrained to the point where we're looking at, okay, how we want to help you make more money, but then also, are there things that we can do within the business that are going to increase your profitability by cutting costs, eliminating waste within that process?
So if you were to envision this spectrum of solutions to problems, there's plenty of people out there who can develop a website or produce a brochure. They're selling a product, really kind of a common thing. Where I see you positioning yourself is way, way out here at this extreme contribution, and you're really saying, I'll help you make more money, and I hear you saying, I want to help you make your business better and more sustainable. Is that right?
Yeah, absolutely.
That is huge. That's so cool.
One of our clients had this, he wanted to triple his business.
Okay.
And so he was working about 80 hours a week in a catering business, and so we started talking about, okay, what are the goals? And we started looking at expansion into other markets, increasing his marketing efforts to try and get there. The thing that I warned him about was, if you're going to do this, you're going to be working, you're going to go from 80 to 90 hours to 120 more likely. Right. Jokingly, even at the time, was you're going to have a heart attack. Mm-hmm. And almost a year to the date, he failed a stress test and had to go under the knife within 3 days.
Really? Wow.
And that's when we started getting more serious about changing the mentality of what he was looking at. So not only just saying, how do we grow the business, but then starting to look at, some of the things that we preach as a business are, how do you get residual income? How do you have multiple streams of income? And then also the biggest thing for him was getting him to understand, if you're the president of a company, you can't, every time there's a problem, you can't stop steering the ship to go row the boat.
Right.
You have to stay there, and you have to hire people who are going to take care of those things that you're not great at. Once we started aligning some of those things, if you go back from where we were in that first conversation, fast forward 3 years later, he's now tripled. He's now, he has an investor that's looking in the next 3 years to take him from, $750,000 into $5 million.
And very importantly, he's still alive. Right?
Still alive, working the same amount of hours, but at that threshold that he wanted to hit for himself.
That's a huge contribution. So the other way, so in my framework of solutions to problems and good feelings, I hear two things going on. So you've taken this idea of solutions to problems and said, basically you've said, listen, I'm not going to allow my life to be commoditized. I'm going to contribute at a high level. So you've made his business better. Now down here on this good feelings, what I hear going on also is you've improved the quality of another person's life.
Yeah.
And I mean, so you're really performing out here in such a way that nobody can really touch you, right?
Right.
When you make that kind of a contribution.
Absolutely. And even the product that has come out of that. So we took this idea of, he has his catering business, he's running that, but we've created these nutrient-dense meals that are specifically created for people who are going through chemotherapy or going through major health changes, which really derive from kind of getting the truth out of Matt, which was, he got into preparing food because he was creating meals for his mother who was dying of cancer. And so he kind of looked back at that and realized he was creating a lot of comfort food, but what he wanted to do was, he realizes now it would have been better if he was creating these nutrient-dense meals. So taking that concept, and we started building upon that, realizing that there was no one in the marketplace who was focusing on that.
Wow. So you helped him probably achieve a greater sense of purpose and contribution that he's making as well, right?
Yeah, butterfly effect. So now we're helping thousands of people who are getting meals, who are going through breast cancer and chemotherapy.
Wow. Another way to think about this is, have you heard the Maslow's triangle, which is this concept that down at the bottom, all of us are seeking basic things, food and shelter. And then as you move up, there's this idea of self-actualization, which is really, I guess, probably, I've heard that only 1% of people really live their lives at that level, where they're really making their highest contribution. But it sounds the way you're running your business, not only are you getting to do some of that self-actualization, but you're helping other people achieve that as well.